Good morning. Welcome. Today I want to talk about prosperity, not just as a concept, but as a spiritual principle that can transform how we live and think and how we experience abundance in every area of our lives. When we hear the word prosperity, many of us immediately think of money, bank accounts, paychecks, investment, financial security. And while prosperity certainly includes our financial well-being, the New Thought understanding of prosperity goes far deeper than dollars and cents. So let me offer you a definition that captures the essence of what we're exploring today. Prosperity is the consciousness of the omnipresent abundance of God made manifest in our lives. Let me say that again slowly. It's kind of a lot, but it's powerful. Prosperity is the consciousness of the omnipresent abundance of God made manifest in our lives. Prosperity isn't something we chase or acquire from outside ourselves. It's a consciousness, a state of mind that recognizes abundance is already present, flowing from the infinite source we call God, spirit, or divine mind. Our work is not to create prosperity, but to allow it, to align ourselves with it, to remove the barriers we've placed between ourselves and the natural flow of good that seeks expression through us. Charles Fillmore understood this deeply. He wrote, "You can be prosperity conscious, though you haven't a penny." Prosperity consciousness is faith in God's abundance for everybody as the underlying foundation of all existence. This is revolutionary thinking. Fillmore is telling us that prosperity begins in consciousness, not circumstance. Before the bank account changes or the new opportunities appear, before the material manifestation occurs, there must first be a shift in awareness. There's a powerful verse in 1 Peter 4:10 that captures the essence of prosperity consciousness and its a practical application. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. Notice it says each of you, not some of you, not the talented ones or the confident ones. Each of you has received a gift. This is not a suggestion, it's a statement of spiritual fact. God has given you specific gifts, unique abilities, particular talents that are yours to steward. And notice the instructions. Use whatever gift you have received. Not hide it, not doubt it, not wait until you're perfect or more confident or better trained. Use it, share it, put it into circulation and service to others. This is where prosperity consciousness meets prosperity demonstration. You can affirm abundance all day long, but if you don't believe in yourself and your gifts enough to actually share them with the world, prosperity remains theoretical. It's the sharing and the using that activates the flow. Here's the truth that many people miss. The reward doesn't come before the sharing. The reward comes because of the sharing. So many people fall short of prosperity not because they lack gifts, we all have them, but because they don't believe in themselves enough to offer their gifts to the world. They wait around for permission or validation, another certification, something that will give them certainty. And in waiting, they block the very flow they're seeking. Jesus illustrates this principle beautifully in the parable of the talents in Matthew. A master gives talents, a form of currency, to 3 servants. The servant with 5 and 2 invest what they've been given and double their master's money. But the servant with 1 talent, afraid of losing it, buries it in the ground. When the master returns and praises the first 2 servants, he rebukes the third. The buried talent is taken away and given to the one who has 10. This leads to what Jesus says in Matthew 25:9. For everyone who has, more will be given, and he will have abundance. But from him who does not have, even what he has will be taken away. This isn't about God playing favorites, it's about spiritual law. What we use grows. What we fail to use atrophies. When we don't believe in our gifts enough to share them, when we bury them in fear, doubt, or false humility, we lose access even to what we thought we had. But when we use what we've been given, when we step out in faith and offer our gifts in service, they multiply. The universe responds to action, not intention. Charles Fillmore expanded on this principle. Substance is everywhere present, and when you make the right contact with it through faith, in its omnipresence and availability, it will manifest for you in ways that will surprise and delight you. So what holds us back? Well, there's this myth of limitation. So if prosperity is our natural state, if abundance is omnipresent, why do so many people struggle? What stands between us and the experience of true prosperity? That answer lies in what we sometimes call collective consciousness, the collective beliefs, fears, and limited thinking that we absorb from our culture, our families, and our past experiences. These beliefs become barriers, walls we build between ourselves and our good. Let's explore some of the most common myths that hold people back. Myth 1, there isn't enough. This is perhaps the most pervasive belief in human consciousness, the idea of scarcity. We believe there isn't enough money, enough opportunity, enough time, enough love, enough resources to go around. This belief creates a competitive mentality. If you win, I lose. If you prosper, there's less for me. But unity teaches that we live in an abundant universe. God has infinite supply, and infinity cannot be depleted. As Myrtle Fillmore wrote, there is no lack in God's kingdom. If we are experiencing lack, it's because we have not yet awakened to the abundant life that is ours by divine right. Many of us carry deep ambivalence about money and material prosperity. We've been taught that money is the root of all evil, which is a misquote. The actual verse says that the love of money is the root of all evil, that spiritual people should be poor, that there's virtue in struggle or lack. This creates what we might call prosperity guilt, the feeling that it's wrong to want financial abundance, that we should be satisfied with just getting by. But unity teaches that God wants us to thrive, not merely survive. Charles Fillmore stated clearly, poverty is not a virtue, it is a sin. If any are unfamiliar with sin in unity, it simply means missing the mark. Affluence and prosperity are ours by divine right. So, myth number 3, I'm not worthy, or I don't have anything worth sharing. Perhaps the most insidious barrier is the belief that we don't deserve prosperity or that we don't have anything valuable to offer. We look at our gifts and diminish or dismiss them as ordinary, not special enough, not polished enough. We compare ourselves to others and conclude our gifts don't measure up. We think, who am I to share this? Who would want what I have to offer? This is precisely the consciousness that keeps people from prosperity. The tragedy is that so many people take their gifts to the grave, unshared, unused. They wait for more confidence, more training or validation, and that waiting becomes the barrier. Meanwhile, the world is deprived of what they came here to give, and they remain unrewarded for gifts they never believed in enough to offer. But our worthiness isn't something we earn through perfection or achievement. It is inherent in our nature as spiritual beings, as expressions of God. As unity teaches, we are each a unique, beloved child of God, and God's will for us is wholeness, abundance, and joy. More than that, God has specifically equipped each of us with gifts meant to be shared. To withhold them isn't humility, it's disobedience to our divine purpose. Myth number 4, I have to do it all myself. I don't relate to that one at all. The ego tells us that prosperity depends entirely on our personal effort, our striving, our struggle. While inspired action is clearly important, this belief leaves God out of the equation. It creates exhaustion, anxiety, and a sense that we're pushing a boulder uphill alone. True prosperity consciousness recognizes that we're not working alone. We're co-creating with infinite intelligence and abundance. Our work is to align with divine flow, to take inspired action while trusting that Spirit is working through us and for us in ways that we can't even see. Myth number 5, prosperity means selfishness. Some people resist prosperity because they believe wanting abundance is selfish, that it means they're greedy or materialistic. But true prosperity consciousness is never selfish. It's expansive. When we prosper, we have more to share, more to give, and more capacity to serve. Unity teacher Eric Butterworth put it beautifully. Prosperity is not just having things, it's the consciousness that attracts the things. Prosperity is a way of living and thinking, not just having. Now let's turn from what doesn't work to what does. What are the actual principles and practice that open us to greater prosperity? Well, the first thing is consciousness. So cultivate a prosperity consciousness. Before the outer demonstrations change, the inner awareness must shift. This means regularly affirming the truth of abundance, regardless of current appearances. Charles Fillmore gave us powerful prosperity affirmations. God is my instant, abundant, unfailing supply. I am spirit, and I draw from an inexhaustible spiritual storehouse all that I need. Divine substance is equally present at all times and in all places, and is always ready to manifest itself as supply when we speak the word. Use affirmations like these daily. Write them, speak them, meditate on them, not as wishful thinking, but as declarations of spiritual truth that reprogram your consciousness. Second, practice gratitude and appreciation. Gratitude is one of the most powerful prosperity practices available to us. When we appreciate what we have, no matter how small, we open ourselves to receive more. Gratitude declares, I recognize the good in my life. I'm aware of supply. Myrtle Fillmore emphasized gratitude throughout her teachings. She understood that what we focus on expands. When we focus on lack, we experience more lack. When we focus with grateful awareness on the abundance already present, we magnetize more abundance to us. Keep a gratitude journal. Every day, write down at least 5 things you're grateful for. Include both material and non-material blessings. The sunrise, or in my case, more likely the sunset, or a kind word, a healthy body, clean water, a loving relationship. Train your consciousness to see abundance everywhere. Nature's a great place to do that. Number 3, give from your first fruits. The practice of tithing is central to unity in most New Thought teachings, but tithing isn't about appeasing an external God or earning prosperity. It's a consciousness exercise that breaks the grip of fear and lack. When we give from our first fruits, we make a powerful statement. I trust in an abundant universe. There is enough. More is always flowing to me. Charles Fillmore wrote, when man refuses to trust spirit and depends on the arm of flesh, he shuts off his supply. The law of giving and receiving is definite. If we are to receive bountifully, we must give bountifully. Tithe to wherever you receive spiritual nourishment, and do it joyfully, not from obligation or fear, but from an awareness of abundance. Number 4, use what you have. Believe in your gifts and share them. This is where prosperity consciousness becomes prosperity demonstration. You must believe in yourself and in the gifts God has given you, enough to actually offer them to the world, which brings us back to 1 Peter 4:10. You are a steward of gifts that don't ultimately belong to you. They belong to God, given to you to circulate, to share, to use in service. So many people fall short of prosperity because they don't believe in those gifts enough to put them out in the world. They discount what they have. They wait for permission or perfect conditions. They let fear, doubt, or comparison stop them from offering what only they can offer. But here's the spiritual law. You cannot be rewarded for gifts you don't share. The universe can only respond to what you put into circulation. If you bury your talent, your teaching ability, your creative expression, your healing presence, your innovative thinking, your compassionate service, how can it multiply? How can abundance flow back to you for something you're keeping hidden? Whatever gifts you have right now, use them. Not next year when you're more confident, not when you have more training or better circumstances. Now, begin where you are with what you have. If you want more money, circulate the money you have generously. If you want more love, give love. If you want more opportunity, create opportunities for others. If you have knowledge, teach. If you have skills, serve. If you have creativity, create. The universe responds to what you do, not what you intend to do someday. And here's what happens when you share your gifts. The act of sharing builds your belief in yourself. You receive feedback, appreciation, and results that confirm you have something valuable to offer. Your gifts grow through use. Your confidence increases, opportunities expand, prosperity flows. Not before you believe in yourself, but because you believe in yourself enough to act. Number 5, release and let go. This is one of the most challenging aspects for myself, and I think a lot of people in prosperity consciousness, is learning to release, to let go of outcomes, to surrender our tight grip on how and when our goods should appear. We often block our prosperity by holding rigid ideas about how it should come. We want the specific job, the particular relationship, the exact amount of money by our predetermined deadline. But Spirit may have something far better in mind, something we haven't even imagined. Practice the affirmation of release. I let go and let God. I release this situation to divine mind for right action. I trust the timing and form of my good. Number 6, see others prospering. Here's a powerful practice. When you see someone else prosper, when a colleague gets promoted or a friend buys a new home, when someone receives unexpected good, rejoice for them genuinely. Bless their abundance instead of feeling diminished by it. This practice transforms consciousness from scarcity to abundance. It declares there's enough for everyone. Their good doesn't diminish mine. The same infinite source that provides for them provides for me. Unity's vision of prosperity is ultimately about wholeness. The word prosperity comes from the Latin prosperitas, meaning good fortune or thriving condition. To prosper means to thrive in all areas of life, not just financially, but physically, emotionally, relationally, and spiritually. Charles Fillmore saw prosperity in a holistic way, the rich estate that is ours by divine heritage, but which has been held up from us by our ignorance of our birthright, is perfect health, abundant supply, wisdom, charity, justice, peace, poise, power, and everything good that God has prepared for his people from the foundation of the world. This is the prosperity we're claiming. Not just more money in the bank, but a rich, full, abundant life. A life of meaning and purpose. A life of generous giving and joyful receiving. A life of creativity and contribution. A life that demonstrates the goodness of God in practical, tangible ways. Let me close with a story from the early days of Unity. When Charles and Myrtle Fillmore started their ministry in Kansas City in the late 1800s, they had almost nothing materially. They were facing poverty, debt, and ill health. By worldly standards, they looked like the last people qualified to teach about prosperity. But they understood something that changed everything. Prosperity isn't about current conditions. It's about consciousness. They began to practice these principles themselves, affirming abundance, giving what they could, trusting in divine supply. And gradually, their demonstration changed. They moved from lack to sufficiency to abundance, eventually building a worldwide ministry that has blessed millions. What they discovered, what they taught, is available to you right now. Not next year when circumstances are better, not when you've fixed all your problems or overcome your limitations, but right now. You have talents, gifts from God. The question is, will you bury them in fear, or will you invest them in life? Will you hoard what little you think you have, or will you give generously and trust replenishment? Will you focus on scarcity, or will you train your awareness to recognize the abundance that surrounds you? Let me leave you with one more quote from Charles Fillmore. You are not limited by the ideas about yourself which you have formed. You are not bound by anything that may have happened in the past, for you are a free spirit now. And you can, through the power of thought, rise out of apparent limitation and make your life what you will. Today, make the choice to rise into prosperity consciousness. Affirm your divine inheritance. Use your God-given gifts. Give generously. Receive joyfully. And watch as the abundant life, your abundant life, unfolds. Let's go ahead and close our time together with a meditation. So I invite you to find a comfortable position, allowing your body to settle and relax. If you're comfortable doing so, gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and release it slowly. Take another breath, breathing in peace and breathing out any tension or concern. One more deep breath, breathing in the presence of God and breathing out anything that no longer serves you. Now bring to mind the words from 1 Peter. Each of you should use whatever gifts you have received. In this moment, acknowledge silently to yourself, I have received gifts. God has given me unique talents, abilities, and qualities that are mine to share. Take a moment to recognize what some of these gifts might be. Perhaps it's your compassion, your creativity, your ability to listen, your skill with your hands, your way with words, your analytical mind, your joyful presence. Whatever comes to mind, acknowledge it without judgment. Now imagine yourself freely sharing these gifts. See yourself offering what you have, not holding back, not doubting, not waiting for permission. See yourself using your gifts in service to others. Notice how it feels to give what only you can give. Feel the natural flow of energy that comes from sharing rather than withholding. As you envision yourself sharing your gifts, silently affirm, I believe in the gifts God has given me. I trust myself enough to offer what I have. I am a faithful steward of divine grace. Now expand your awareness to the truth of infinite abundance. Imagine a vast, limitless ocean of divine substance surrounding you, an ocean of infinite supply, infinite possibility, infinite good. This abundance is not somewhere far away. It is here now, flowing through you and around you in every moment. Silently affirm with me, God is my instant, abundant, and unfailing supply. I am open to receive. I am willing to give. I prosper in all ways. See yourself as a channel through which abundance flows. Not blocked or restricted, but open. Abundance flows to you in unexpected ways. It flows through as you share your gifts. It flows from you as you give generously. And it returns to you multiplied in perfect timing and form. Breathe into this awareness of flow, of circulation and abundance, constantly moving, always available, eternally present. Now I invite you to rest in silence for the next minute. Simply be present with God, with this awareness of abundance and the truth of who you are. Allow Spirit to speak to you in the stillness. There's nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to go. Just be. As we prepare to close our meditation, place your hand over your heart. Feel your own presence, your own worth, your own connection to infinite source, and affirm silently or out loud, I am a beloved child of God. My gifts are valuable. I share them freely. I prosper in consciousness and demonstration. Take a deep breath in, and as you release it, bring your awareness back to this room. When you are ready, gently open your eyes. And may you continue on with your day, going out into the world, knowing your worth, believing in your gifts, and experiencing the abundant life that is your divine inheritance. And so it is.